The news that one of the world's richest countries, Britain, is cutting public health and development help to one of its long-standing aid recipients, South Africa, wasn't well received in Pretoria. In a statement, the South African government complained that it hadn't been properly informed about what it called a unilateral announcement with far-reaching implications, tantamount, it said, to redefining our relationship. The announcement was made on Tuesday by Britain's International Development Minister. Justine Greening described South Africa as the African continent's economic powerhouse. The relationship between the two countries, she said, should become much more about trade than aid. And contradicting the claims made by the South African government, she said that bilateral discussions about ending development funding had been going on for months.
Aid is, very much at our discretion. We're generous with our aid programme. There's a limited amount of money. There's a question about where you allocate it, and when countries like India and South Africa have achieved, through their own efforts, a successful level of development, it's perfectly right that they're graduated from those programmes and the aid is concentrated somewhere else.
UK aid to South Africa is worth about $29 million a year, a tiny percentage of the country's overall $110 billion annual budget. But it does help a lot of people, funding projects focused on HIV/AIDS and maternal mortality. Britain's announcement means that investment in future development projects will cease by 2015. Aid agencies warn that many will suffer as a result.
It's going to remove aid from South Africa, a country where millions of people still live in extreme poverty. They can't afford to eat, they can't afford to send their kids to school. And we also know that British aid is saving lives right now. What's going to happen to the 1 in 10 people who rely on British aid to give them the treatment they need, who are living with HIV? This is a matter of kind of life and death for them.
With Britain facing billions in budget cuts, wealthier developing countries like India and now South Africa are seeing their aid payments slashed. The government says it'll keep its commitments to the poorest countries, but it does appear to be turning its back on some of the poorest people. Jonah Hull, Al Jazeera, London.